The people of Isoka village were known to be very strong, hard-working and faster than the regular humans. They also have a superpower, the ability to feel no pain. Among the Isoka people was also the Oworas known as the giants. The neighboring villages called them the mini-gods people. What the outsiders did not know was that the people of Isoka village had a deep secret that only the villagers know about, hence their superpowers. Soon, the story of the Isoka people has spread through villages to cities and countries. Many people were amazed after hearing about these special people. The Isoka people also lived a very long life. The oldest man in the village is 257 years old and most of them lived above 200 years old. Meanwhile, back in a city called Lower Town, there was a woman called Adisa. Adisa was born in the city and lived all her life there. Adisa was a primary school teacher who lived from paycheck to paycheck. She spent all her monthly salary on feeding and paying bills. Every month was just like the previous month. 13 years of her life as a primary school teacher and she was nothing to write home about. She wasn't proud of her life as a 38 years old unmarried woman. She was frustrated and tired of everything. So much so she prayed for a miracle to happen. One morning as Adisa walked past a newspaper stand, something caught her attention, a place of no pain, no suffering. Just a simple lifestyle with long lifespan. The Isoka people. She stopped, glanced through the paper for a while, paid for it and headed straight home. Back in her flat, she read everything about the Isoka people. She was amazed about these new findings. It felt like an answered prayer. She wanted to be a part of these people by all means. She went online and researched all she needed to know about the Isoka people. She was satisfied about this new discovery. By the end of the day her mind was made up. She was finally leaving the city to settle in this small village. The next day she resigned from her position at the school, started selling off her properties one by one and by the end of the month she was ready to take that bold step. She was tired of the city so she left. She was going to go to a far-away village to start all over. She abandoned everything. Her job, her city house, family and friends and left never to return. While in the city, there was electricity, clean water and good roads, but here in the village she would live in a small thatched house, no electricity and the roads were untarred. The only source of water was a nearby river which people bathed, washed their clothes in and sometimes used as a toilet. This was the only water available for cooking and drinking. Despite the unhealthy daily lifestyle of Isoka people, the people of Isoka village lived a very long life that it is tagged an untimely death if a person passes on at 150. She left with just a luggage containing her clothes and a pair of bedsheets. She moved into a small thatched house in the village. At night Adisa would use the small kerosene lamp to see and read some interesting novels. The next day she met with the village king and introduced herself as a school teacher who has come to impact knowledge in the children. She explained that she had come to settle forever as a part of the people and she has come in peace and positive spirit. As teacher she is willing to teach for free only if she is welcomed with open arms. The king acknowledged her presence and asked her to go home, that he will invite her once he finalizes with his village chiefs. Thereafter, the king called on a brief meeting and after an hour-long deliberation a conclusion was reached and a servant was sent to call on Adisa. Standing in front of the king and his village chief, Adisa was uneasy. She knew her fate depended on the final decision of the village head. Would she be rejected and sent out of the village? Would her decision to give up everything in the city to move here end in everlasting regrets? In a few seconds her fate would be decided. What would it be? After a little silence, the king finally spoke. We are aware that most villages has embraced civilization and already teaching their children in schools, but we in Isoka village has not been given that opportunity because many people are scared of us. We admire your bravery to be here and live among us. For this I am going to make your life in this village comfortable enough for you. I will give you a royal house, enough food for the rest of your life, a servant and a husband if you want one. You can start teaching our children immediately. From that day on, Adisa lived among the people of Isoka, teaching the children as she has promised. The king did not go back on his promise to Adisa. She lived like a queen with plenty of food and servants at her beck and call for a whole year. If you have watched till this point, we appreciate you. Kindly click the subscribe button below for more interesting videos like this one. Don't forget to comment, like and share. Unfortunately, after drinking from an unclean river, enduring mosquito bites, Adisa's immune system couldn't resist anymore. She was not as strong as the Isoka people. She fell seriously ill. There was no modern medicine to properly care for her. Different village herbalists were called upon. They did all they could to keep Adisa alive, but to none of their remedy was working. Her condition continued to deteriorate rapidly. The king was desperate to keep Adisa alive. He called on all the village chiefs. While at the meeting, the king told the elders that he wanted the village head to perform the sacred Eletu ritual on Adisa to keep her alive. As soon as he said that, there was chaos among all elders. The Eletu ritual is something that only the Isoka people know about. It is their most revered secret. Exposing it to a stranger means revealing their secrets to the world. A secret that has been kept among them for centuries. No way, they muttered. In Isoka village, once a child is born, 7 days later the sacred Eletu ritual is performed on the child. This is why they live very long, stronger, faster than every other humans. This is a deep secret that they believe anyone who shares it to a stranger will not live to see the next minute. At that moment, the king was desperate. He couldn't care less about the elders' opinion. He wanted a change in his kingdom. I am the king of this community, he affirms. The ritual must be performed on Adisa on the next market day. I have spoken. The chiefs murmured in disbelief. They were totally against the king's decision, but their hands were tied. They wished the king would change his mind and preserve their most revered secret. That night the village was thrown into silence. The people were moved to mourning. Mourning of their deep-long secret about to be lost. 3 days later, crowds gathered at the palace. It was the day of the ritual. The village head started the ritual incantations. After a few minutes, he ordered the palace guards to bring out Adisa. The guards entered into a hut nearby and brought Adisa out in a wooden stretcher. Adisa was placed in the center of the crowd. The village head chief placed a hand on Adisa and made a shocking announcement that no one, not even the king, saw coming. She is dead, he announced loudly. His voice echoing in the now silent crowd. It's too late. She is gone to be with the ancestors. The announcement hit the king like a storm. Shocked, he reached out to the stretcher, felt Adisa's pulse and realized she was gone. He screamed in rage and stormed into his hut. Maybe the gods know she is not of the Isoka bloodline, the villagers murmured. The gods has continued to preserve the Isoka heritage from generations to generations. May the gods be praised. Then one after the other, the villagers slowly left the palace. Days later, Adisa was laid to rest. She was honored and given a befitting burial. Even though her stay was short, her impact was great. She will always be remembered as the brave woman who embraced Isoka with all her heart. If you have watched till this point, we appreciate you. Kindly click the subscribe button below for more interesting videos like this one. Don't forget to comment, like and share.